Okay, ji, hello everyone. Our today's lecture is on shapes, 2D shapes. In last lecture, we have done modifiers, right? Anyone having any doubt in modifiers? Everything is clear? Okay. Our today's lecture is on shape. So uh, here is your create icon. Under create icon, first is your geometry, which we have done. Basic of geometry, that is standard primitives and extended primitives we have done, right? Now next icon is your shapes. Click here, shapes. This is your basic shapes. Basic shapes means only 2D lines only, right? If you have remember, in geometry we have done two type of geometries. One is your standard primitives and one is your extended primitives, right? Same wise, in your shape we have two type of main splines. One is simple spline and second is extended spline. Both are same, like likewise in your standard primitives there is basic 3D models, and extended primitives there is a little complex or little different that your 3D models are, right? Similarly, in spline there is basic line splines, that is line, circle, rectangle, ellipse, arc, basic shapes, right? But on the other hand, if you go to your extended spline, here is some of your different splines. W, rectangle, channel, angle, T, that is not common, right? Other thing is rest is same, just the difference of simple and little complex. So come to spline. I go to my front viewport. So this is my line. Click, draw. This is line. If you want to draw straight line, vertical or horizontal, press and hold your shift key. Press and hold your shift key for straight lines. Now close it. Close spline. Yes. See, now this is my a single spline, right? Single shape, you can say. If I go to modifier, here is a small arrow in front of your line icon. Click here. Line, further line is divided into three parts. One is your vertex, segments, and the last one is your spline, right? It is further divided into three subparts: vertex, segment, and spline. Now whatever you create with the help of line, that is by default converted into editable spline, कि उसमें आपको ये तीनों options दिख रहे हैं. But if I go to rectangle or any other, suppose this is rectangle, now go to modifier. See, here is no small icon is available. It means you have to convert rest of the shape into editable spline first. For this you can go from here, right click, editable spline. You can change it from here also, or select your object, right click, convert to editable spline. You can convert it from here also. Converted. Now see, editable spline और यहाँ पे mark आ गया, right? So only line has by default these sub objects, but rest of shape you have to first convert it into editable spline, then only you can get these sub objects, right? But एक बार जब अगर आपने इसको कर लिया convert, once you have convert this into editable spline, you cannot प्ले विद योर डिफ़ॉल्ट पैरामीटर्स. मतलब रेक्टेंगल के जो डिफ़ॉल्ट पैरामीटर है वो नहीं मैं अब छेड़ सकती. सी दीज आर पैरामीटर्स, लेंथ, विड्थ, this I can change over here, right? But once I change this, these parameters are not available, but there are Apple method to resize it. Other methods are also available, right? So click it. Now close all. This is all. First is your rendering. I didn't yet click any sub object. I just click on editable spline, right? कहीं भी click नहीं करना है, just editable spline. First is your rendering. Rendering is what? Suppose this is my rectangle. I want to render it by pressing Shift Q. Is visible. Why? Because your lines never render. Lines never show in rendering, right? If you want to show this in your render, then you have to enable in render, enable in viewport also. It just give the small thickness to your line, whether it is your radial thickness or it can be your rectangular thickness. See, right now it is a radial thickness, and the parameter, or now if you render shift q, visible. Shift q, q, shift q, right? Now radial thickness parameter is here. Thickness, you want to give thickness, how much thickness. This is side that segment, side segments. If you don't want radial, go to rectangle, rectangular चाहिए आपको कुछ. Then length, this is width, and this is angle, bevel shape, if you want to give it a bevel shape, right? So this way you can use, you can create these with your for your window frames also. Just create a line and convert it into editable, oh sorry, renderable thickness on. ये काफ़ी यूज़ होता है ये, right? If you don't want this, off it please. Right now I don't want this. Interpolation, interpolation is to make smooth things, smooth. Suppose circle it. I'll show in your circle. Editable spline. If you can see, this is not smooth, right? See, this is not smooth. If you want to make it more smooth, then just simply increase the interpolation, increase the steps, it will get smooth, right? Selection, this is the same selection you can do from here also. Vertex, segment, spline, or you can do it from here. Vertex, segment, spline, or keyboard shortcut is simple one, not F1. Simple one for your vertex, 2 for your segment, and 3 for your spline, right? You can select from here, here, or keyboard shortcut, keyboard shortcut. This is, now come to your geometry. Without selecting any sub object, few things are, first is your attach. Attach means I have this spline and this spline, these both are separate, right? Two identities. If I want to attach them, then select any one. You can click here also, take attach option from here, or right click. Here is your attach. Click here. Now click on the object you want to attach, click this. Now see, both are under one object, right? This is attach. Attach multiple if number of projects number of objects are available for your attachment. Click here, यहाँ पर पूरी list आ जाएगी. You just have to select all and attach, तो सब attach हो जाएगा, right? Okay. Similarly, if you want to detach any part of your this element, then go to your spline first. Select the spline you want to detach. This is my spline. I want to detach this. So on right click, there is no option for detach. You have to take this from your command panel only. Detach. This is detach at the end, almost at the end. Detach shape name if you want to give. Okay. Now see, this is separate, this is separate, and this is separate, right? Detach, attach. Okay. Now they both are same. I want to detach this rectangle from this. Simply go to first spline, select your part spline you want to detach. This is my part I want to detach. Now scroll down at the end, at the almost end. Here is your detach. Detach. Okay, now it is detached, right? Clear? Now come to these sub-objects. Close all. First is your vertex, geometry. In vertex, two things are important. One is these obviously the nature of vertex, and second is your fuse weld. First, we are talking about the nature of. Select this, go to vertex, select the nature of vertex. Right click. Here we can convert your vertex into four forms. One is Bezier corner and smooth. What is this? This is very important. Now first select this, right click, Bezier corner, select this, right click, Bezier, select this, right click, corner, select this, right click, smooth. सबको हमने अलग अलग फंक्शन दे दिया, राइट? फॉर स्मूथ इट इज़ clear that it will create a smooth edge, right? So corner, it is clear it give a corner. So इन दोनों में कुछ खास नहीं है, so converted into a corner. Now come to this. This is my Bezier corner and this is my Bezier only. What is the difference in Bezier corner and Bezier? Both having a handle for control. This is a handle to control and this is a handle to control, right? In Bezier, when you move your handle, it moves simultaneously both sides, right? It reacts to simultaneously both sides in Bezier only. On the other hand, if you select your Bezier corner, both handles work separately. This separately and this separately, right? Bezier corner सबसे ज़्यादा हमारा यूज़ होता है. For this, I'll give you example. Suppose I'll create an arc, convert to Editable Spline, go to Vertex. If you see my default arc is contains 4 vertex, right? As many vertex any element has, it will increase your file size as well as increase your render time also, like the segments I have told earlier, right? Similarly, जितने ज़्यादा vertex होंगे उतनी फाइल होगी. So by default when we draw arc we have 4 vertex, but we can attain the same shape with the help of Bezier corner. एक अलग ही लेते हैं, और सॉरी इसी को ही कॉपी कर लेते हैं. ये आँख के ऊपर एक आँख और आ गई है. Modify, select these vertex, delete. This is my old arc and this is my new arc, which I am going to show you that only with 2 vertex also we can attain this shape, right? So first step increase करो interpolation की, so that it give you smooth. Now select both vertex, right click, convert it into a Bezier corner. Bezier corner. Now just move your handle. See, right? Both are in same, but it consists of only 2 vertex. On the other hand, it consists 4 vertex, but the result is same. So हमारा Bezier corner बहुत यूज़ होता है जहाँ हमें कर्व वगैरह का कम वर्टेक्स में हमें कोई गोल शेप देनी है, राइट? So this is your vertex, and the second thing is important, that is your fuse weld. Now what is fuse weld? Suppose this is my shape, I have created some random shape, right? Then I have to convert it into a 3D and I apply extrude modifier. Modifier list, go to modifier list, press E, extrude. This is to convert 3D. Click here. See, this is convert into a 3D solid form. This is amount, you can give a amount, right? This shape you attain only if your all vertex are properly fuse weld. But Sometimes what happen, suppose I break this vertex, break, now extrude. Sometimes what happen, when you create a shape, when you apply extrude modifier, it will come outcome like this. मतलब only outer surface is extrude, no solid और बीच में कुछ भी नहीं होता है. It means your one or two whatever the your vertex is not fuse weld. कोई आपका vertex fuse weld नहीं है जब भी ऐसे होगा. For this you have to go first, go to your vertex, crossing window, select two vertex, नॉट बाय क्लिकिंग. क्लिक करने से सिर्फ ऊपर वाला एक वर्टेक्स सिलेक्ट होता है, क्रॉसिंग विंडो से दोनों सिलेक्ट होते हैं इफ इट इज ब्रेक. सो सिलेक्ट बोथ, राइट क्लिक, और यू कैन गो check it from here also. Here is your fuse and here is your weld. You can take it from here, but convenient way is right click, here is fuse. First in this case I know this is my break vertex, but otherwise you don't know, right? For this you have to fuse all vertex one by one, selecting. Suppose सारे कर लिए मैंने, right? Then select all, right click, weld vertex, weld. Now check, now see, अगेन दिस इज़ माई प्रॉपरली फ्यूज वेल्ड. इसको देखने का एक ही तरीका है कि ये इस फॉर्म में आपका सॉलिड होना चाहिए, राइट? अगर आपका कोई वर्टेक्स नहीं है फ्यूज वेल्ड तो वो ऐसे एक्सट्रूड नहीं होगा, राइट? इट इज़ क्लियर, इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्योंकि ये नॉर्मल होता है. ओके, दिस इज़ ऑल फॉर योर वर्टेक्स. लेट मी चेक इफ आई फॉरगेट समथिंग. ज्योमेट्री, नहीं, क्वालिटी में नहीं होता है, टाइम में ही सिर्फ होता है. ओके, अटैच, मल्टीप्लाई, रिफाइन. ओके, रिफाइन, इफ यू वांट टू ऐड एनी न्यू वर्टेक्स, एनी मोर वर्टेक्स, go to refine, just click over the line or wherever you want to add vertex, right? Similarly here is the option of remove also. अच्छा नहीं, वो उसमें है. If you want to delete, then simply delete your vertex. But try to minimize vertex. Fuse weld we have done, make first, it is in camera. When we done camera, then it is okay. Fillet chamfer. Fillet chamfer, I want to fillet this point. Then click here, fillet. You can give value over here if you know the value, right? Otherwise direct on screen also you can do this. This is fillet. Select this, go to chamfer, again click here, this is chamfer, right? This is fillet, this is chamfer. This is all for your vertex. Next is your segment. Segment is line between two vertex. Two vertex की बीच वाली line को हम segment बोलते हैं. This is segment, this is segment, this whole, right? Line between two vertex is your segments. So in segment rest is the same. One thing is divide. Here is your divide. If I want to divide this line into the value I have given over here, suppose I type over here 2, then 2 vertex will add. It will divide into 3 parts and 2 vertex will add. If I type 2 over here, right? So if I type 3 vertex will add and 4 division will done, right? Rest is same. Next is your spline. Spline is your whole object. Whole object is your spline, created with single spline. That is your spline. For this we just create more shapes. Right click, attach. If you want to perform any action on multiple splines, then you have to first attach them. जितनी देर तक वो अटैच नहीं होंगी तो सेम ऑपरेशन नहीं लगेगा सबको, राइट? So I have to apply operation like boolean, trim, extend. Then first I have to attach all bodies. Select this spline, select any spline. Okay, here also first is outline. Outline is just like your offset. If you want to give a offset value, outline, give some value. This is offset, or graphically you can do here also on screen, right? Now here is your boolean. Select any spline. Suppose this is my spline. First is your union. Union किसको union करना है? इसको union करना है. See, this is union now. First is your subtraction. Click here, subtraction. किसको subtract करना है? इसको subtract करना है. It subtracts. Third is your intersection. Intersection किसको करना है? इसको करना है. It will give you intersection. You know now what is union, subtraction and intersection? Similarly, mirror. If you want to take all in mirror, on which axis, horizontally, vertically, or on both? Mirror. See. If you want copy, then click here, mirror. It is right. Similarly, trim. Trim. If you want to trim any line, trim, 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 trim. Similarly, extend. If you want to extend something, it will extend in only straight line. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई सर्कल है तो उसमें एक्सटेंड हो जाएगा, राइट? एक्सटेंड. स्लांट भी वो एक मिनट उसी बट ये सर्कल वाला नहीं जाएगा. अगर आप सर्कल को ट्रिम किया हुआ है कहीं से, सपोज आई हैव ट्रिम इट फ्रॉम हेयर and I extend this line, it will go straight. It will not go in circle form, right? So yes, rest of okay. So this is your spline. Clear? Now what is your assignment? Assignment is you have to create 5 different wrought iron gate design. I'll show you. Go for large images and try to take this front. ये फ्रंट जिसका दिख रहा है उसको ट्रेस करने में इजी रहेगा. ये फ्रंट, टेक एनी शेप. आई थिंक आई हैव ऑलरेडी डाउनलोडेड फ्रंट. यहाँ कहीं पड़ा था मैंने से. हाँ, ये रहा गेट. I have already downloaded. Suppose this is my gate, I have to create this. Now see how to create this. This is my front viewport. First, go to geometry, standard primitives, take a plane for your gate size approximately. Suppose I'll go for 10 by 15 feet. 10 by 15 feet और 12 कर देते हैं. 12. I don't want any segment. This is a plane, F3, right? Now I have to put that gate image in this plane for tracing. For this, select your plane, press M for material editor. Some people might be find material editor in this way, right? If you are comfortable in this way, it is okay. Otherwise, go to modes, compact material editor. This is actually classic version. We all are used to doing this, so we are more comfortable in this version. right? But you are new. If you want to work in that interface, it is perfectly fine. Okay, before this, first go to rendering, go to your render setup. F10 is shortcut key. Common, right click, close, assign renderer. Here is assign any Arnold render. Go to change it to scale line render. Scale line render, close. Now all my material editor is of scale line. Go to physical material, materials, scale line. This only available if you change your render engine. अगर वहाँ से चेंज नहीं करोगे तो यहाँ ये स्केल लाइन वाला स्लॉट नहीं दिखेगा, राइट? सो गो टू स्केल लाइन, स्टैंडर्ड. This is my standard. Now under your blend parameter, here is your diffuse. If you want to change any color, then click here, go for color, right? But we don't go for color. We want to put a image, then in front of your color slot, here is a small boxes here. You have to click here, click on box, go to maps, on journal, here is journal bitmap. Click, double click. Now call your image, wherever your image is. This is my image, open, right? This is my image. Now third icon is assign material in selection. I have selected this. Now click here. My material will be assigned on my plane. If it is not visible, then from your third icon from the last, sorry, not fourth icon, show shaded material in viewport. If it is not visible, then click here, it will visible, right? Still, if some people not getting there or some tiles are getting there this time, then please check in this, under this palette. Here is by default some versions check here, already checked here, use real world scale. You have to untick this. सम वर्जन्स बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट टिक करते हैं, यहाँ पे टिक करके ही आता है, तो तब आपको ये गेट ऐसे फिक्स होके नहीं आएगा, वो छोटी छोटी टाइल्स में दिखेगा. इन दैट केस यू हैव टू अनचेक दिस, यूज रियल वर्ल्ड एंड टाइप 1 1 इन tiling. This is tiling 1 1. Type 1 1 in tiling and uncheck your real world map या space जो भी है, right? Even then, if anyone don't found gate like this, then go for modifier list, press U. This is UVW map. UVW map. Click here. Planar is okay. Scroll now. Here also you will see real world map is checked by default. So uncheck this and fit. Then your gate will be shown. If anyone finding problem, then क्योंकि ये पिछले वर्जन्स में है ऐसा, इसलिए मैं बता रही हूँ, राइट? लेटेस्ट वालों में नहीं है ये प्रॉब्लम, पीछे वाले वर्जन्स में, राइट? सो दिस इज़ माई गेट. आई हैव कॉल्ड माई गेट. आई डोंट वॉन्ट एनी मैप. सो नाउ स्टार्ट योर वर्क. This is my gate. Now go to your line, spline, go to line. In this you have to create a half of this, half will be mirror, right? So पूरा बनाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है आपको. Just press and hold your shift key for your straight. Go to modify, renderable, thickness on. Angle, no angle, only 2 inch. I think 1 or 2 inches sufficient. 2 inches okay, right? So this is your line. If you want to convert a dark color line, so I have given this rectangular, rest of I'll give radial. Again line, renderable, thickness, radial. So draw first from here, shift key, so now check here, thickness is big, more, so reduce it as per your design. So I think 1 inch is sufficient. 1 inch is sufficient. Right. So now go to lines. Like this. Suppose this. Once check in perspective की सारी एक ही जगह बने हैं ना, आगे पीछे तो नहीं बने. It's okay. Now you can attach all. Attach them all. Those are similar. जिनकी थिकनेस सिमिलर है उन्हीं को बस अटैच करना. इसको अगर अटैच करूँगी तो ये भी रेडियल बन जाएगा. So no need to attach it. Right? See. And for this, again, for this type of, go to line. First just take a random ticks. दूर दूर टिक लगाना थोड़े. Reduce its thickness also a little bit. Right. Now go to vertex. Select all. Convert it into bezier corner. अभी हम bezier corner से ही minimum vertex से round shape देंगे. Convert it all on bezier corner. Now press F3 to see the handle. Where is handle? This is handle. Now see, I am going to move it down, but I am trying to move it down, but it is not working. It is by default, it is assigned some constraint. To break the constraint, press F8. F8. Now see, it is working. Similarly, for smoothness at the end, just add the interpolation steps. To see the handle, F3. F3. जहाँ हैंडल ना दिखे वहाँ F3 कर लेना. I need one more vertex here. Refine. We'll go it smooth also. यहाँ bezier corner ही दे देते हैं इसको. F3. F8 if you are finding that there is some constraints. Right, now you can give interpolation value also. 20. राइट, एक बनाया उसी को ही मिरर कर देना या कॉपी. प्रेसिंग शिफ्ट की, इट रिक्वायर्ड मिरर. मिरर, कॉपी, वी वांट कॉपी. यस, ओके. एक पूरा बना लेना, इसको फिर मिरर करना. राइट, now if it is completed you can hide this also. Select your plane, right click, hide selection, this way, so only gate is visible. Right, right click, unhide all, it will back. Or if you have done, then simply select and delete it, whatever you want. Right, now your assignment is you have to create 5 different design of this type of gates. पता नहीं, कोई होगी तो मुझे नहीं पता. होगी नहीं, I don't know. It is clear? So before next class, everyone please mail me this assignment also. Okay.